So if you're ready, let's go for the million. If Bob Iger was in the room with you right now, what would you say to him? Eat a bag of dicks? Suck on my pee-pee? Disney Plus is gay? Go fuck yourself.
I'd like to use one of my lifelines and phone a friend.
Okay, who would you like to call?
I'd like to call Bob Iger.
All right. Our friends at AT&T will get Bob Iger on the line, and we'll see if he can help you.
Hello?
Hello, Bob.
Yes.
Hi, Regis Philbin here from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Hi.
We've got Elon Musk with us right now. He's won $500,000.
Wow.
And he's going for $1 million. And he needs your help to get there.
Okay.
So, he's going to come on the line, read a question, 4 possible answers. One of them is the right answer. Elon, you've got 30 seconds. Starts right now.
Hey, Bob.
Hi.
I don't really need your help. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to win the $1 million. Go fuck yourself.
He's won $1 million.
Alright, hello and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and this is your weekend's analysis, deep dive TA, and all of that good stuff. The big news of this week, in my humble opinion, is that MicroStrategy managed to raise 750 million, or I should say, they're in the process of raising 750 million to buy more Bitcoin. And they mean what they say, of course, because they've acquired an additional 16,130 Bitcoin for a little under $600 million. This was at an average price of 36.7. So they now hold a whopping 174,530 Bitcoin that they've acquired for around 5.28 billion. Michael Saylor is not playing games, is he? He's around $1.5 billion in profit at the moment, I believe. So absolutely insane. If this continues, then my goodness, what is this company going to look like in a few years' time? I see a lot of people looking at RSI and saying, oh, we're overbought, or oh, there's bearish divergence. But this is one of the main reasons I advocate against using indicators. Most people don't know how to use them, okay? And strong momentum is what this is, not overbought. And you can see that here, right? Strong momentum, okay? Stayed overbought for a very long time, whilst Bitcoin did a 29x. Here we did a 4.3x, and look at this, okay? So this party at the hard right edge is just getting started. A lot of people are saying, yeah, well, it's overbought. Not necessarily, okay? This can continue to be a lot more overbought than it is currently, and we may well see, according to Henrik here, 59 to 60k or as high as 150k per Bitcoin. November has been and gone now, of course, and that month is going to go down as one of the best ever for the S&P 500. Did you know that after previous months have gained over 8%, continued strong returns are indeed common? Okay, we're higher a year later 90% of the time and up 15.8% on average. So again, it tells us to keep an open mind about better than expected outcomes in the not too distant future for the stock market. That all-time high is in sight, isn't it? And something like this may well be well on the cards. Getting into the charts, what have we got? We have got a dollar index continuing to come off, right? So happy days there. All the while it's contained under this red line, then we should continue to see downside in the dollar. No concern from me whatsoever unless we break out of this downward red resistance line on a daily closing basis. And we remain targeting this mid-90s area into the end of Q1 of next year. So no change there, really. Here's a 10-year yield, okay? Let me move this yellow squiggle out the way just so it can be really clear. Look at this, okay? No way near conducive to a risk-off moment. We could certainly draw a line here, and we probably got this one here as well, right? We're in no way, shape, or form even thinking about reversing, in my honest opinion, as it stands at the moment. So this should continue to set us up for a risk-on moment and that run into all-time highs into the end of the year. And of course, this week actually closed incredibly bullish, didn't it? I'm now going to jump to the stock market. Look at that. Against all the odds, we've left all these gaps behind, okay? Gap, 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 gap. They're all over the place. I think the NASDAQ is even worse, right? Look at these. Gaps, 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 gaps galore. And yet we haven't even come back to back test them. I have been saying we're likely just going to continue to leave these gaps here. I think we probably will fill them, right? If we go to this melt-up chart, you know, at some point, after we've run the all-time high, we probably are going to come back and fill these gaps. So I'm not suggesting they're never going to get filled, but what I am suggesting is in lockout moves like this, and that seems to be what's unfolding, it's reasonable to expect these gaps don't get filled for some time. Maybe this one does into that cycle low, but also maybe it doesn't, right? take a look at the Dow, okay? Nearly 300 points. Look at this, okay? Bears are getting absolutely scorched at the moment, and I wonder how many percentage points away. We're something like $900 away from the all-time high, I think. So yeah, 700 points, 1.9% from all-time highs in Dow, and about 5% away from that measured move target at 38.2. So there's not much more to say, is there, right? There's a time to be in the market, there's a time to be out the market, and as I was saying, there'll be a time to go fishing. There'll be a time to get back to full exposure, which we're at right now, as you can see by all these positions I got open, and it's fishing into the end of the year, right? That's all there is to it. Look at this, okay? This is the Russell 2K. Breadth is widening, which is exactly what you'd want to see if we are going to complete this final move to all-time highs. We would want to see breadth start to widen, and that's exactly what we're seeing, right? Small cap participation. Look at this, okay? This is no joke. This is no joke of a close on a Friday. So happy days, long and strong continue to push, and we are still down here in this sub 13 neighborhood for the VIX. So are counter trend bounces to be expected? Yes, particularly as we get towards that 15th of December cycle low that's due for the S&P 500. But ultimately, we're probably going to get down to 10 or even 8 whilst this blow off top move completes. And then, of course, from here, it's time to start thinking about the end of the end. Incidentally, there is a 4-year cycle low due for the S&P 500 in March, okay? And I only recently realized this. When I was proposing this, it didn't even cross my mind that there's a 4-year cycle low due around March and April of next year. But there is. And so it's very interesting that whilst all these other things are lining up and pointing towards seeing some kind of large deflationary crash that the Fed eventually has to QE bomb its way out of, it's also interesting to me that 4-year cycle low is due in this neighborhood as well. So overall, stock performance looks fantastic, doesn't it? Let's take a look at oil. I know when we got this counter trend bounce in the week, right, this move here up into this touch of this red downward sloping resistance line, right in this neighborhood here, people were starting to message me and be almost concerned. I think some of you must be short oil with me, because once we got this move, I had a lot of people messaging me saying, hey man, any thoughts on this oil reversal? Any thoughts on oil? And I kept saying over and over again, right? All the while we're under this red line. Then Camel does not care. Camel is not bothered until we start closing daily candles outside of that. For now, you can see why, right? Touch of resistance, resumption lower. Now, confirmation that we're resuming lower comes from taking out this local low, but I would think that's what comes, right? I would think this is what's coming, and that makes perfect sense. So short and strong there. Over in the world of Bitcoin and crypto, right? Bitcoin doing Bitcoin things. Look at this, okay? I was talking about if we don't get a pump this weekend, then it's going to be likely that we've already seen the top for this daily cycle and we're going to do something like this into the next 60-day cycle low. But lo and behold, here we are, okay? Bitcoin doing Bitcoin things. We've still got that chance to run to 42K before that pull back into the daily cycle low. And then, of course, out of that, the plan remains the same. We will continue to add longs. Needless to say, the performance in Bitcoin is leading these crypto-related equities to do what they're supposed to do, right? They are higher beta assets, meaning they move up more than Bitcoin when Bitcoin moves up, and it also means they move down more when Bitcoin moves down. So this is why I choose to spread my Bitcoin exposure over these crypto-related equities as well. And you can see that this Coinbase long from its opening is up nearly 72%. So it's doing what it's supposed to do, right? Happy days there. MicroStrategy as well. Look at that. It's a fantastic looking chart, isn't it? We are expecting that pullback into that 60-day cycle low, of course. But so far, so good, right? We're also seeing the squeeze in Riot. This is starting to look a lot more like what I wanted to see. I was talking about this, hoping to get a squeeze so that it will give us the space to pull back into that cycle low where we can add more positions and look to continue. Same is true at Marathon, right? Here we go. I was talking about this. Hopefully we can get a squeeze up that gives us the space to pull back into that 60-day cycle low for Bitcoin around the 15th of December, and then resumption of the uptrend is expected. So this is a really good looking chart. Loving what I'm seeing across the board. And here's gold, okay? Last but not least, I put out a video yesterday and I said, look, we're staring down the barrel of a gold bull market. And quite a few of you have reached out to me and said, well, I think maybe it makes more sense that we got a rollover. And I have to admit, right, this has been my expectation. My expectation is that, as this yellow squiggle shows, we see gold reject here one final time. We see one final flush out. And my expectation is that whilst the stock market in crypto runs the all-time high, gold will pull back, and then we will see the rotation out of the risk assets and into gold for it to finally set up this massive bull run. But is this asking too much? Obviously, that is the ideal scenario, because that will allow me to take all my profits out of crypto and the stock market and buy a huge chunk of gold for cheap, right? So maybe this is a biased thing in my mind. It makes the most sense logically, but the chart is telling us something else, right? The chart is telling us it's a few points away from seeing this. And once we break that all-time high, it's a bull market and we're going into empty space above, right? Price discovery. So whilst my bias is telling me I want to see this thing roll over and I want a chance to be able to exit all the profits from crypto and the stock market and risk assets into gold, the chart is telling us something different. We've had the highest monthly close on record. We've had the highest weekly close on record for gold. And we're a mere, I don't know, $15 an ounce away from seeing that all-time high break. So as I've been saying over and over again, break this all-time high, and I have to respect this. I have to get long, and we have to see what the market can give, because once we break this, it's probably going to run 50% in short order thereafter. As I was saying, I'd like to see this thing roll over, and that kind of makes sense, right? Why would a risk-off asset like gold run at the same time as risk assets? But perhaps what we're seeing is the market be forward-looking. The market knows the dollar is in a downtrend until Q1 of next year at least, right, when it finds that 3-year cycle low. The market also knows yields are coming off, and we know there's no more rate hikes. We're in this pause phase, and we're soon going to be cutting. And is the market just forward-looking? Is that what we know? Is that what gold seems to know? Either way, like I said, if the thing's going to break out, it doesn't matter what my bias is. It doesn't matter what I want, right? I just need to not be dogmatic. There's plenty of traders out there that have one idea. They marry it, and then gold starts doing this, and they sit there and go, 12K, bro, 12K, bro, okay? But it's important for me to just check myself, check my ego, make sure it's not in the way. And if the thing's going to break out, we get long. And it's as simple as that. Take a look at silver. So long-time viewers of the channel know, right, we've been lining this up for some time. This line goes all the way back to the all-time high for silver at $50. And I've been saying over and over and over again, break out of this, and we have to respect the long. And so this should be absolutely no surprise to you. We are officially long and strong silver. Here's the position, here's the stop loss, and we'll see what the market can give from here, right? We will see what the market can give from here. The silver junior miners, I'm still lining up. I did not take this position as of yet, but you can see that there's not a lot of work left to do here, right? We're right into resistance, so clear that on Monday, and Camel will be long here as well. The junior miners is a different story. For gold, take a look at this, right? Take a look at this. What have the junior miners done? They've broken out, right? This is a breakout. So again, it goes back to what I was saying about ego and not marrying an idea or not getting stuck on your own bias, right? It doesn't matter that I want to see gold roll over. It doesn't matter that I still kind of think gold is going to roll over. This is undeniably a breakout, right? So I have to respect it. Otherwise, we run the risk of this happening and me going, nah, the whole way up. It's going to roll over. It's going to roll over. And it just never does, right? So we've broken out. Listen to the market, because the market is the truth. The chart is the truth. And the truth is all that matters. This is a breakout. Camel is officially long. Here is the position. And again, it should be no surprise to you, right? The whole last couple of weeks, I've been saying there's work to do, right? Encouraging signs looked kind of weak, then it started to look a bit better. There's work to do, and now we've broken out. And I said, break out of this, and we have to respect the long. Why? Because this goes all the way back here. So long and strong junior miners, the market is speaking, and it is my job as a trader to listen. The senior miners, as you can see here, still have a little bit of work to do, okay? That makes sense because junior miners are higher beta than the senior miners, so all of this makes sense. But again, if this thing is going to work its way out here, break out and go, then I have to respect that long. That is a breakout that has to be listened to. When the market speaks, okay, we have to listen. It's as simple as that. So overall, what a week, eh? What a week, what a year. We are closing this year out incredibly strong. I'm getting more and more of you reach out to me and message me and say things like, thank you, and you're making a bunch of profit from learning from the channel and taking a good position here, there, and everywhere, and it's all working out for you. So I'm really pleased to know that the stuff I put out here is actually helping people. Follow people with a history of getting it right. Follow people that are open and transparent. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend. I hope you're all doing well in life. And until next time, take care from me. All the best. Cheers. Bye.